Beautiful creators, podcasters, and live streamers of planet Earth, if you're looking for a new and different type of condenser mic for your setup at home or in your Batcave or sound-treated studio, we've got a brand new XTUGA X4 USB condenser microphone to test out to see if this may be the key to your clear sound and visual vibe. We'll get right back to the video, but first I wanted to let you know that XTUGA did send me this microphone, the X4, so that I could do a video for you like this, but I will tell you that any opinions I have about this microphone are all my own. Now back to the video. Let's start with this incredible case that this thing has come in. I've never seen a microphone come in a particular case such as this, but this is definitely a keeper, ladies and gentlemen. Look at this. I feel like the Hallelujah chorus should be playing now in the background. So this is very cool. We'll keep this other box handy, because it will tell you about the 4 pickup patterns that we'll talk about, that this is a large diaphragm microphone. It is a condenser microphone. We'll be talking about why this may be the right fit for you if you've got sound treatment in your home studio or wherever you're doing your presentation, home office, or anything. Let's see what you get when you open up the box. I feel like this should be that scene from Pulp Fiction where it's like, oh! And of course, you're going to get the manual, which talks about all the stuff that we'll go through in the video. Pretty intensive little manual. That's good. And so here is the mic itself. I do like that it's packaged in this thing. It comes in here with some nice hard foam. So you're definitely going to get some protection on this microphone. Really great. So this basically looks like Batman's podcast microphone. It's pretty cool. And first of all, I'm going to tell you that even the pictures, I thought, was this thing plastic or is this thing metal? I can tell you right now, it is solid metal. So this is not the only plastic parts that I can tell on here. Maybe the knobs. Everything else is very sturdy and based in metal. So we're going to put this really cool, you could put stickers on there, do whatever you want to do with this particular microphone. First of all, you should know that in terms of speaking into it, it looks like you can speak into both sides depending on the direction that you have set for it. And you change the directional from the knob here on the front. So you're going to have the different directions. This is the one that we're going to spend the most time on because this is really where podcasting happens. That's the cardioid setting. That's the one where you're speaking into one side of the microphone, not the top of the microphone. Where you click it here, it's bidirectional, so you're gonna be able to speak from both sides. That would be like if you were doing a podcast with somebody that was across from you, maybe, or you wanted to get both directions. You're going to get both directions, sound coming from both directions of this microphone, going into a single track. And of course, you're going to have the other settings, which are omnidirectional, so you're getting sound from all around it, and of course, stereo as well. This is great, and it has a mute button, and I will say I'm going to hold this up so you can hear the sounds, because when you are hitting a mute button, it could, and we'll plug this in, it's really what matters is what you hear on the microphone, but you can hear that it is a little... It does make a little noise when you hit that mute button, and truly when we hop into the specs, we have to talk about a condenser microphone versus a dynamic microphone. Like, what's the deal? In a home studio setup, a condenser mic like the XTUGA X4 is your go-to for some crisp, detailed sound. That's perfect for capturing your Detroit Lions commentary session or your theremin covers, but remember, your recording space acoustics can make or break your sound. So no one wants to hear the neighbor's lawnmower upstaging your podcast. So sound treatment is basically your friend. So grab some fluffy stuff to put around you, carpeting, rugs, and you may want to think about a mic isolation shield as well to ensure you aren't fighting the fans in your office or your home studio. And we do isolation videos as well on our channel, and also XTUGA makes one as well. So Let's get geeky about the XTUGA X4. I'm going to plug this in. We're going to be able to hear it, and that's really what you're here for, isn't it? Okay, one other thing I'm going to let you know about is that the cables that come with it are braided cables. That is another plus, definitely, that you have both a USB-C to USB-A braided cable, as well as one that is a USB-C to USB-C. So we'll plug this in, and we'll get it off and running so you can hear what it sounds like. All right, what I am doing here is this comes with a desk stand, but a best practice for what we like to do is we like to get the microphones onto a boom arm and not onto the desk. So I would recommend maybe getting a boom arm and getting this up off the desk, because when you touch the desk or make any noise, especially in a condenser microphone, that vibration is going to cause some sound into the mic. We're going to take this off of the stand and demonstrate how you would get it onto this boom arm that we've got right here. Comes off real easily. You can see different places you can mount it. We took it off here. This is where you mount it into this side, but you can see here along the bottom, this is where you have a 3/8 inch spot for you to screw it into, and that is our boom arm that you could see right here that we can just put that into. And then, of course, you'll see here at the bottom, you've got a jack to put in your headphones so you can locally monitor everything. You can actually, this is an interesting thing here too, is it has an aux out, so you can directly record to something out of here as well. And of course, the USB-C goes into the computer. Let's get this thing going. All right, I want to make mention of something. I know we were talking about me getting this microphone onto a boom arm. There's one thing you got to keep in mind about this. If you want to get it off of this stand, like we suggest, notice where the mount spot is for where you would mount your boom arm and where you plug this into your computer. What I found is, I've got 3 different boom arms. I was unable to put it onto a boom arm and also plug and have the room to slide in that USB-C. If you wanted to get this onto a boom arm and off of your desk, I would seek out options to be able to get some sort of extension so you can screw this on, have an extension so you can be able to slide in the USB. So I'm going to put this microphone back onto this table stand, and we're going to test it with the table stand. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we have the wonderful XTUGA X4 hooked up. This is a very cool looking microphone, as you can see. I'm going to go through the patterns that you see right here. We have it set on cardioid, and you can already hear the sensitivity of this microphone. If I were to be quiet, you'd probably hear some of the room noise. You're probably hearing some of the plosives. You just heard another one, which is when I say words like pizza, and if I'm aimed directly at the diaphragm of the microphone, it is going to create that plosive sound, which you don't want to do. So the best practice here is if you are using it in cardioid mode, that you're speaking across the microphone. It's very sensitive, and so you want to speak across the front of the microphone. So when you say words like pizza and podcast, that air doesn't go into the condenser microphone and send your listeners running for the hills. So this is cardioid mode, as you can see from the front, and I'll be careful not to make any plosives here. You've got this mute button, and this mute button does make a little bit of a tactile noise, I've noticed. And so if I hit this, and I hit it back on, and you can see that it flashes. So it's letting you know, hey, you're muted, which is a good function for sure. That way you're not going, what's the problem? I can't hear myself. So there you go. And then we'll switch here to this other look, and you'll be able to see the front of the microphone. And my sound is going to get a little bit more distant. I'll try to speak as close as I can so you can see it and hear it. But the volume here at the top controls the amount of gain of the microphone that's actually going into your system. I've got it at about 330, so it's probably up to about 8 or so. And the closer I get, the louder, of course, it is. So depending on where you are speaking into it, you might want to be cognizant of the amount of gain that you're driving into your system so you don't clip. So make sure that you're looking at levels of -6 and -12 dB when you're using this. And this volume here at the bottom, as you can see, is just for your headphones. So that's what I'm hearing. And as you can see from the bottom, and I'll try to speak louder so you can hear me, because the microphone itself is facing the other way, but I've got the headphones plugged in. That's what I'm hearing. Local monitoring. This is USB going into my computer. This would be the mount. If you can find a mount and some sort of extension to get it off of your desk and onto a boom arm, and then an aux out to be able to record directly to another source. So let's go through really quickly the certain patterns on the back. So we're on cardioid. This is what you would use for single podcasting. And again, I'm sorry about the plosives, but I typically don't use a condenser microphone, but you would need to speak across the microphone so it and close as you can, so it gets your voice, but also doesn't cause any plosives. So we're going to switch over to what mode is this? This is stereo mode. So you're not speaking into the front any longer. What you are is you're speaking into the side, and you're going to be hearing my voice on the right side, and then over here you're going to hear it on the left side. So you can start to see, and this is better for instruments and things like that. So that's your stereo sound. Let's go over to omnidirectional. So omnidirectional, as you can see, is sound all the way around the microphone. So as I turn this microphone, it's going to be a uniform amount of volume because you're basically picking up sound from everywhere. And I'm moving the mic around, so you're probably hearing that. Now, you wouldn't be doing that in a situation. You'd probably set this in the middle of maybe a conference room table or something like that, and it would record the sound all the way around this. You are getting plenty of room noise in this kind of situation, so I've just given you a scenario for that. And then finally, we have bidirectional. And so this would be a case if you're having a podcast and you've got people on either side of the room, right? You got me on this side and you got somebody else on this side. You're speaking into the sides. So where you see here on the sides, this is me on the left and this is me on the right. So if you have your headphones on, you'll be able to hear how that works. There you go. That's the functions of the XTUGA. Let me switch back to cardioid here. This is the functions of the XTUGA X4 microphone, condenser microphone. Again, for a condenser microphone, I would suggest sound treatment, some fluffy stuff in your room, and turning off fans and things like that, because this is a very sensitive microphone. But definitely, if you need to get it off of your desk and get it onto a boom arm with that 3/8 thread, and you needing to put in a USB-C, I would look for some sort of extension to come out of that 3/8 thread and onto a boom arm so that you can get it clear of your desk and off of a desk stand. So anyway, I hope this video helps you.